Why? I'm what you call a retro PC gamer. Anything between the 70s and early 90s computer games are something I live for. But I also fail to in the some category of this quiche. I've made a hobby of hunting down rare and obscure games and collecting them. There's so much I found. A beta version of Doom 2 with most of the maps either missing or slightly different. An Alone in the Dark pre-release. How at one point I found the holy grail of Leisure Suit Larry 4. But it turned out to be a fake. Anyway, my friend Barry knew about my obsession, although I didn't share in it, so when my birthday came around I would always anticipate a few old games to play. And on my 22nd birthday, my presents included a copy of Waxwork, Waxwork, a CD of System Shock, and something else. My friend Barry has said his cousin handed him down this game a few years back but could never play due to his computer breaking, and Barry's general dislike for games. Either way, he passed me a box containing 3 unmarked floppy disks. He said that he didn't know what the game was, but I thought I might like it anyway. I most certainly didn't. Oh, sure. I was happy for the mystery of the unmarked game. But that night, I regretted ever placing those floppy disks onto my computer. The first thing I noticed was a DOS prompt. Normally it would say something like loading game title or running.exe. But for some reason, all that appeared was 010101011011001001001111. 1. I screen capped it so I wouldn't forget. Thinking it was a little odd, but not really caring, I patiently waited for the game to start. When the game was complete, the screen flickered into a dark shade of black. At first the monitor was busted, but then a pixelated image appeared on my screen. It was a blue skull, tinted, with no jaw. In front of it was the name Y. I figured, sweet, a good old horror game. But then I thought to myself, wait, there's no company logo. Normally one will appear before any of the games screen. I figured it might be an in-release homebrew game. I clicked and entered this, and I was brought to a screen consisting entirely of text. This confirmed in my mind that it was a homebrew, as the text adventure games were very easy to make. But one thing was weird. Why 3 floppies? Normally for a homemade text game, you only need 1 disc. But why 3? Jesus, someone was busy. The first sentence on the screen was, dark room, demon on the other side, knife in hands. What will you do? Naturally, the choppy writing peeved me, but I did what any gamer would do and typed, kill demon with knife. Almost instantly after I hit enter, this sentence appeared. You brutally murdered him. Good work. I had a laugh at the almost juvenile way that the sentence ended, but although it was written this way, it was strange. After all, heroes in the game don't brutally murder demons. They just kill them and move on. Considering nothing else came up, I figured I'd do what any other person would do in an RPG, and looted the corpse for gold and items. I found driver's license, picture of children, subway card. Okay, what the hell? I didn't even enlist in a DOS era. Why would a demon drive a car? Well, Zork had a similar submersive humor towards the standard fantasy stories. So maybe it's all inspired by that. Still, a subway card? I thought the game was new, but Barry said he got it years back, when it was about the 80s. Oh well. I guess the company was around back then and I didn't know. Out of nowhere, more text flashed up. Banshee walks through the door. She manages to scream, you die. Figuring this was a timed action, I quickly replied, stab with knife. The game asked, stab where? Figuring out how to stop her scream, I replied, the neck. The game slowly brought up. ... Good choice. Okay, this was freaking me out a little. Then the game said, you slit the bitch's throat before she had a chance to scream. What? So when this game started going all adult language on me, and why call it a bitch? This game was seriously creeping me out at this point. Another text came up on the screen. You leave this room, you're in a dark hallway. Upstairs you see a glint of light as something runs out of view. Worried what would happen next, I still wanted to give the game a chance. This was the single worst mistake of my life. Go upstairs, I typed. You stand opposite to a closet door and hear strange noises coming from the other side. Will thou venture forth? Considering the game never used to speak medieval before, I figured the creator was just pulling some prank on whoever played it in the beginning, and now it would be more of a real RPG. I timidly opened the door. You see two trolls. One half the size of the other. They're hiding in their corner. Why wouldn't monsters hide in a corner? Then I thought, neither of those two monsters had even attempted giving my character harm. Was I playing the villain? You step forth and draw your knife. A new line interrupted my thought. I didn't type anything. Why was it acting on its own? The troll's eyes glint in darkness, looking petrified into yours. What the hell? I thought. I wasn't even touching the keyboard. You raise your blade. Stop! I frantically typed. After a short pause, the game replied. No. The game was defying me. Before I could type quit game, cancel, the game flashed up with this. You grab the slightly bigger troll by his hair and stab his eyes with your knife. His brain matter leaking onto the floor. The smaller troll screams in terror, and you drop the corpse. You gently kneel down and meet the shrieking monster with calm eyes. She stops screaming as soon as you split the knife into her heart. With her final gaze, the creature looks at you and asks, "Why, brother?" The computer made a sickening fizzing sound then I tore the plug. What is this? What the fuck was Barry playing at? Is this some sick joke? I immediately grabbed my phone and punched in the numbers, ready to scream off a storm at the apparent joke. I had to redial 3 times before I heard a weak, timid, yes? It was definitely Barry. Something was wrong. But I didn't care. I took my rage out on this supposed practical joke, clouded my senses. I screamed, "What the fuck is wrong with you, Barry? Don't you get off on this kind of shit? Is this fun for you?" I was there with a long pause. I didn't. I couldn't. Barry's voice shook. I heard he was breathing frantic and hollow. "I just want to know why, man. Why? Tell me why you did this." I was still angry, but each sad breath he hurried and inhaled over the phone pulled me out of my rage. I don't know. I just don't know. Then I heard tears. He was sobbing. I quickly tried to figure out how to react to what I'd said. I clearly interrupted something that made him feel bad and made him feel even worse. Before I could find a good apology or excuse, the phone dial played. He'd hung up. Jesus Christ, what's wrong with me? My friend's made such a simple mistake and I explode at him, while he's clearly devastated. I glance over at the clock. 3 a.m. Far too late for go over and apologize. I guess I'd have to wait till morning. The next morning, I rushed to Barry's house. I was horrified at what I saw. Barry's house was surrounded by cops, ambulances, and police tape. I ran to one of the cops who were trying to hold back gossipy, vulturous neighbors. "Officer, I'm friends with Barry. Is he okay? What happened?" The officer calmly explained everything. Barry had murdered his entire family. I timidly asked how. Too taken back to even know what was the point in saying. Apparently he'd stabbed his father and robbed him. Then he slit his mother's throat as she was walking in on the scene. His brother and little sister apparently heard it and hid in the closet, but he found them and stabbed them both repeatedly. He says he doesn't remember a thing, and after answering the phone, stabbed himself in the chest. He didn't die though. He was currently being held in police custody. I was close to vomiting, and for some reason, a ray of hope, I prayed I wasn't responsible. I asked what time they think that it would have happened. They estimated between 2 and 3 a.m. I started to cry. What had I done? I wiped my tears and walked off, but not before hearing this exchange between two cops and a paramedic. So what's gonna happen to the kid? Well, we better him to a psychic ward, and then see if he has any next of kin. Another officer came. Sir, I just ran the database. Apparently he has no extended family. If Barry didn't have any extended family, then who gave him the game? But one question. Crawled its way into my mind, killing any remaining questions. There were 2 more discs.